This conference will now be recorded.
Hello, this is David Miller with the Group of 40, and today I'm going to be interviewing Janine Malcolm and Jane Scarrett, and they are both in Australia and New Zealand, respectively. We have a very active Group of 40 in these two countries, and we have this beautiful map which is showing Eastern Australia and New Zealand. So let's begin by asking Jane, can you tell us a little bit, Jane, about where you are and what kind of activities are going on in Australia with the Group of 40?
Yes, hello everybody. Good morning, David. Hi, Janine. You know, it really makes us smile when you think that the east coast of Australia is closer to New Zealand than the west coast of Australia. So New Zealand and Australia work very, very closely together. The main activities of Group of 40 in Australia and New Zealand, are that we provide a platform for like-minded people to feel a connection. And we present biorelativity meditations, which is the ability to talk to the spirit of the earth. And we also maintain our planetary cities of light. And between us, Australia and New Zealand have 79 members.
How many planetary cities of light do you have in Australia, Jane?
Between Australia and New Zealand, we have 11 planetary cities of light and ocean reserves of light.
Well, and we meet in person, which is fantastic. We meet on the we can meet on the phone conference line. We can meet in person. We use GoToMeeting and Skype. And you know, David, the use of technology has allowed many more people who do not live, you know, close to the planetary city of light to actually join the meditations, which is great.
Mm.
Janine, how many planetary cities of light are there in New Zealand?
We've got one, in the one that I'm connected to is the one in Auckland, the East Auckland Planetary City of Light. And as Jane said, we work very, very closely with Australia, and we support one another with our meditations and any activity that Australia is doing, New Zealand does as well. So you know, we keep supporting one another in that way. So it's almost like we are just one big family and working together. Mm.
We are one big family. And you know, we have the teams present 15 meditations each week. There's at least one meditation each day. Some days there are 4. We leave Sunday free for webinars and for catching up on meetings.
Can you explain, Jane, when you're talking about meditations, are you talking about planetary healing meditations or planetary cities of light meditations? Just explain it a little bit further, please.
Yeah, we have themes for each night, a day and night. So Mondays, we'll cover a variety of issues. For example, we'll have meditations for activating star seeds, unity consciousness, focusing on meridians, ascension meditations. Tuesdays is purely for raising personal skills and expanding your consciousness. Wednesday night is for the earth.
Yes.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. And on Thursdays, Jane, we present beautiful meditations from the Masters. And these are a variety of personal and planetary healing meditations. And then the Friday focuses on changing belief systems. And Saturday, the focus is on the Earth meridians. So, you know, we cover a huge variety of themes, as Jane says, and we're very busy all week long.
Can you explain a little bit more about the planetary healing meditations? I know you called it biorelativity. And can you give me an example of any successes that you've had in doing planetary healing biorelativity? I know that you have some pretty severe weather, fires, and other problems in the weather patterns in these two countries, just like everyone else is having around the planet. So I'd be interested if you can give us any examples of some successes from these meditations.
Sure. When we had the dreadful bushfires in late 2019 and early 2020, we were told there was no rain around and the fires were becoming totally uncontrollable. The whole team in Australia and New Zealand, with intent, with focus, with amazing thought power, we knew that this was our only hope, and we came together in meditation with no resistance, no saying this won't work, and we meditated asking Mother Earth to balance the dipole in the Indian Ocean, because Africa was having a lot of rain and they were getting the rain that we would normally have had. So we balanced the dipole in the Indian Ocean, and we also asked Mother Earth if any rain clouds were around, could she bring them in? And we brought the rain, and that made a huge difference to the fires. Even the Weather Bureau, the Bureau of Meteorology, was saying, well, we don't know where the rain came from. And I think Janine
We
also...
Yes, yeah, we also feel, don't we, Jane, that the fifth dimensional energy in the planetary cities of light are making a difference to the people living there. And, you know, we find that people are kinder, they're more thoughtful of one another, they help one another, and they smile, you know, and even in the bigger, busier cities, we're noticing this. So it takes a little while, but the fifth dimensional light and energy, we feel, prevails over this. And, you know, the planetary cities of light are unique. They have a specially activated energy, and crystals are buried by the members at points north, south, east, and west around the perimeter of the planetary city of light. And this creates a vessel for holding that fifth dimensional light. We then have a special ceremony that takes place where the Arcturians download fifth dimensional energy into this area and activate the crystals. And then that city is linked into the entire planetary city of light network around the globe. So creating the planetary cities of light brings higher energy for the city and its inhabitants. And we are noticing that, aren't we, Jane?
We certainly are. And we have an annual conference every year out here in Australia. New Zealand are welcome to come, and all the members are invited, and many of them come in from all points, north, south, east and west, and we meet at the Arcturian etheric crystal at the Gross Valley. There are beautiful venues there.
Where is this Gross Valley? You said that's what you mean?
Yes, David.
Can you tell us a little bit about where that is and about the area, because I understand that the Gross Valley is like a national park or a sacred place in Australia.
It's a magnificent area in New South Wales in what's called the Blue Mountains. And they're called the Blue Mountains because of the haze from the gum trees makes them look blue. And it's a very spiritual area. There are magnificent venues. It's a great holiday destination for people. And the valley where the crystal is buried is just magnificent. It takes your breath away.
Jane, also, can I ask you, you mentioned there's quite a few cities of light in Australia. Can you give us some of the names of them? I think that people would like to hear some of the names of the cities of light.
Okay, I'm on the Gold Coast up in Queensland. So we have, that's north of Sydney. It's virtually where the plane is on the map. And we have a city of light and an ocean reserve of light there. Inland for about an hour is Brisbane, and we have a planetary city of light there. Now, Sydney and Sydney Harbour, they have a planetary city of light and ocean reserve. The Gross Valley, of course. Then you move further down the coast, south, Melbourne, they have one in a beautiful area called the Mornington Peninsula, and they have an ocean reserve in Port Phillip Bay. Over on the west coast, we have one in Perth, in Applecross and Shelley. And then over the ditch, which is what we call that stretch of water, Janine has her East Auckland and Half Moon Bay, planetary
Ocean
city
reserve.
of light and ocean reserve of light. Yes. So we have members living in 7 of the 8 states in Australia, in the states and territories. We actually have members covering the whole country from north to south, east to west.
And Janine, I understand that also you are giving radio interviews and doing other types of promotion?
Yes, that's right. So we use a number of methods of attracting people or trying to get more planetary cities of light within New Zealand. We would love to have 2 or 3 more going down the North and South Island. And I have just recently started to advertise in the local newspaper within our planetary city of light, and also a radio interview. So just telling people who we are and what the planetary cities of light are all about, and that's proved to be quite popular. I've had a number of inquiries from both of those, and people coming along to the meditations and really enjoying themselves. One lady that came along to our reactivation last weekend joined the 2 meditations with Australia last night, and Rose, she is, and she contacted me this morning to say that she absolutely loved them, both of them. So I'm delighted to say that I think she'll be part of the East Auckland Planetary City of Light group before too long.
Look, we also maintain 9 very active meetup groups around Australia and New Zealand, and we also support the United Kingdom. And people come, they join the group because we talk about, we're an Arcturian planetary healing group, and they come to enjoy the experience. And I have to tell you, most of the members that we have now in Australia and New Zealand have come from those meetup groups. So they're very important for introducing us to other people.
It sounds like both of you are doing a fantastic job promoting the Arcturian work and the Arcturian planetary healing. And I'm very happy to have this opportunity today to have you explain a little bit more about your work. I imagine that there may be people listening who are interested in joining the group of 40 in Australia and the group of 40 in New Zealand. So in the few minutes we have left, Jane, can you tell our members, and Janine, can you also tell our members, or our viewers, excuse me, how they could join your activities and project?
Okay, well, they could email me to start with, janescarrott@gmail.com. Simple. You can also look for the Arcturian Planetary Healing groups on the meetup. You can access them anywhere in the world. You could also contact David at a group of 40, www.groupof40.com, and just ask him for my email or my phone number, whatever, but I am always available. And I'm very delighted to welcome anybody that would be interested.
And it's the same for me too, David, all of those things that Jane has mentioned, as well as my email, which is janinemalcolm@extra.co.nz. And the extra is spelt without an E, it's XTRA. And also they could look in the local newspaper, our local newspaper within this area, East Auckland, and my contact details are in that as well. And you know, go to the website.
And
Well, it
David,
sounds
can
like,
I?
go
Oh,
ahead.
sorry. Yeah. Okay. It's also that when you're a member of the group of 40, even though we're scattered all over the world, we're family. And we were actually discussing the family aspect on a meditation the other day. We always have a lovely 5 or 10 minutes of chat before the meditation starts. And we were discussing that beautiful open heart energy and total acceptance of each other that we all have. And we totally support.
And, you know, yes, absolutely. And, you know, because we are all working to achieve a common goal, you know, a healing and balance for the earth, it brings us together very, very strongly. And there's a sense of teamwork all the time, of being part of a large family, and a feeling of belonging to something that's quite unique and wonderful. So no matter where they live in the world, where the members live in the world, we always feel that sense of closeness to them when we're joining in for a meditation.
Absolutely.
It's wonderful.
Here. But we also have to thank David and Gudrun for their wonderful leadership in this group. David and Gudrun set a very high standard, and it is wonderful to be able to have that standard to work to. That's the way I look at it.
Yes, definitely.
We could say that the overall goal is to develop planetary healing and fifth dimensional higher spiritual light for the world. And in particular, we have focused today on the spiritual activities in Australia and New Zealand, and the wonderful planetary healing work that Jane and Janine are doing in promoting the Arcturian project, and in particular, biorelativity and the planetary cities of light. Thank you very much.
Thank you, David. Thank you.